Hello, if you are wanting to have a happy life, then this will interest you. Are you driving too fast, and how stress creeps up on you? Now, this isn't all about driving, but let me tell you more in just a moment. Hi, I'm Will Perry, and I help make complex theories simple. It's not good enough to understand, we need to take action. I'm not clinically trained, but I've been an executive coach since 2001. I was head of action learning at the BBC. But in the last 13 years, I've been focused on this one question. Why do we get so stuck, and what's it got to do with this shadow side? How I help people. Firstly, I can do it for you. I can work really intensely, closely, or I can do it with you in the small online groups. Or you can do it yourself with the online program. But also I've got lots of free content and free programs, so come and find out more. Do like, subscribe and share. But here is the video of the day. Here is the video. Anyway, hello, thank you for that. So when do you feel stressed? Okay, I've had a lot of stress recently. I had unexpected things drop on my doorstep, which had a massive impact uh, on my life. I don't need to go into it. I won't go into it, but I'll keep that curiosity there. But it's you don't need to know. But yeah, my stress it came out in me. Obviously, I was very stressed in the so I had to. Let it percolate through. By the way, I've just been on this today as I'm recording this now. I've just been on a speed awareness. That's what this led to, this video, but it's so relatable. I found it really relatable because a lot of it talked about stress and how what causes us to speed, all right? What causes us to go too fast and break the law when we need, fair cop. I got done by a camera, and if you don't know, here in the UK, you get offered a speed awareness course if it's within a certain margin. I was going 5 miles an hour too fast in a 30, and I got offered instead of points and a fine. I got a fine and this course, which actually I think is a very good course. But it was interesting. It was the relation of stress and how that informs bad decisions, makes us make poor decisions. So what happens when you have stress? Because I've had a lot of, it's very relatable to me because, like I said, I had a lot of stress recently. Physically, it came out in me. I was like, just melted my head, panicky, ups and downs of emotion. My psoriasis in my head and different parts of my body came out. Terrible dandruff. I've never had it like that. It just went, kind of the scalp lifting dandruff. It's not just a little patch of dandruff, just really bad psoriasis in my head. My cold sores. I hadn't had cold sores for quite a long time. Interestingly, I used to have cold sores quite a lot, and it's like, isn't that interesting? And then, the worst cold sores I've ever had. Across here, across down here, you can still see the marking of it slightly down, still tiny little bit left. But the worst stress I've had for ever. Actually, the worst stress I think I've ever had. Oh, now I'm playing stress competitions now. No, I've probably experienced more stress than that, but this was, a lot of stress. And the course that I went on today, we did it via Zoom. It's awesome. I like it that way. It was really interesting to look at the way that stress affects us and the consequences of stress and why we make poor decisions when we're stressed. Just checking what the next one was. So my thing was that I'll tell you more about that in a second, but I'll tell you now. So when we came at the end point of this was to come out with a little plan for yourself, and that sounded like interesting. But let me share my, I've got it just down here. It's a really simple plan. What am I going to do so I don't repeat the same? Because we want to learn from our mistakes, don't we? We want to learn and move on and not just blindly, stupidly repeat the same patterns. And I'm sure you can relate to that, not just in the way you drive your car if you do drive, but you don't want to make the same ridiculous, stupid mistakes that you've made before. That's the purpose of our memory, is it? To go, oh no, don't do that again. But there's a sequence, a pattern, a plan to kind of impact this, not to impact this, to think about this in terms of the course that I did this morning about the speed awareness. So first thing, when was I most at risk? I'm most at risk of speeding when I go to pick up my babies at about half an hour away on the school run. So going to pick up, it's in fact just Lulu, but I go with Dolly. So going to get Lulu, and it's because it's a half an hour journey. It's a little bit more than just kind of 5 minute trip around the corner, obviously. That's when I most put myself at risk of speeding, because if I'm delayed, if I'm like, oh no, what I need to do, and that's the next bit, why am I at risk? Because if I'm delayed, or if I leave a little bit too late, then I need to go fast to make up the time. So it's like, oh no. So I put myself in that position that I'm stressed and I need to go faster to make that happen. In terms of what are you going to do to reduce the risks? Easy. Plan better, so I don't leave earlier, plan to leave earlier. And if I do get caught up or something like that, don't get stressed. So calm down, know not to speed. What might make my plan fail? Traffic conditions, that might make me late, or forgetting to leave ahead of time, forgetting to give that padding of time. How can I make this plan work? Schedule travel time and make it ping in my diary, and make a note to change my behavior, so I'm not stressed making up time, going 80, 85, getting stressed with other people's thingies to get my baby on time, who's really understanding, she is the coolest baby. Lulu, she's 6, she's the coolest girl in terms of understanding. It's all right, Daddy, I know you're there, or starting to get worried, Daddy. She only once I was really late, and that's when I speed. Then that's when I'm most at risk at speeding. But to bring this back to you, when are you most at risk for yourself? Excuse me. In terms of your stress, because what happens, and it came out from the course, and I thought, yeah, that's absolutely interesting, and we all do it. What happens when is that our judgment gets clouded. Our judgment gets clouded when we're under stress, and I think we all know that. That's like, oh, brilliant, Will. I never knew that. Duh. Yes, we all know that. Yet we get stressed. We don't. We repeat the same stupid patterns, unless But that's what our memory's there to serve us, to help us go, don't make the same mistake again. But sometimes it's really difficult to know what it is that's causing you stress. Sometimes it's really difficult to know that you're stressed. Sometimes it's really difficult to know what to do differently. And I found that was an interesting breakdown of the course this morning specifically about my speeding. And I generally, the older I get, the less inclined to speed I am. And I've got a chuggedy old motor that is really nice to just poodle along at, and I think that helps me. But even in that, I went 5 miles an hour too fast and got caught, and that's fair enough, because just 1 mile an hour difference can make a difference between life and death. And it's really interesting to be brought aware of that and the impact, and looking at the science of it. And it was really well done, So knowing that stress negatively influences our decisions, it clouds our judgment. It consumes us, absolutely consuming. Think of, are you relating to times when you've been stressed? And what happens if maybe I mentioned Gabor Mate in the last one. He's really good on I think making this point really clear about how it impacts. If you've heard his story about the crying babies, Jewish babies, that clarity that he relays this thing, and the knowledge that he has about how stress, even in the womb, affects the development of the unborn baby, how stress in the environment affects the development of our brains, and becomes, it either heightens or lessens the sensitivity to stress, to the reality of stress that's out there or not. So we might become more sensitive or less sensitive to stress. So it might be more difficult to notice it. You might be stressing about so many different things. It might be difficult to distinguish what you're actually stressed about. You might not realize how stressed you are. And that was interesting for me, just to notice about my cold sores. It's like, I used to get patterns of getting cold sores again and again and again. It was stress related for me. It consumes us. It can be difficult to identify it. So what we need to do is heighten, in a way, our sensitivity to the stress levels that we have. But I don't mean heighten our stress. I mean heighten our awareness to this, the sensitivity. Heighten our sensitivity so we can become aware of it more easily, and then we can get a plan to tackle it. But if you just go on repeating the same stupid patterns, you'll keep making the same stupid mistakes. You're not serving you're not allowing your memory to serve you and help you. But sometimes it's so difficult with all these different factors. You can blame the camera for being there. Oh, they're just, the conspiracy theories, they're just out there making money. The cameras and I need to go and get my baby. I haven't got time for this. We put all the blame out there, but actually it's just us and our stress and how we are dealing and reacting with our stress. It's clouding our judgment. And this is common sense. But what patterns can you see that you're repeating that are actually holding you back in your life? So we need to heighten our sensitivity, if you like, to our stress so we can become aware of it. And then we need to take the awareness and consistency to addressing it, to put the plan into place. And I think it was really nice analogy for the car, for the speeding thing this morning, for me going through that. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what we need to do. That's what we do in the program, to heighten your awareness of it and then work on it on a daily basis so it becomes a new pattern, a new behavior, rather than just something you should do, ought to do, mate. Yeah, and then la 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 la, and then the next time you're stressed, you're damn. Can you see how that relates? So my invitation to you is to notice where you are stressed. Have a conversation with me about what's clouding your judgment, where you get stressed, what happens when you get stressed, where you need to turn the sensitivity down, or in this case, down, so that you can lower your levels of stress by being more attuned to it. Does that make sense? To lower your stress and physically take control of your stress, your physical symptoms, however they present themselves with you. To take yourself with your breath, to be able to physically take control of your body, which is, it might sound a strange thing, and well, I'm in control of your body all the time, but are you? Does your heart palpitations control you? Does that trigger you into a panic attack? Because actually you're in control of your body, but often we don't have it like that. So my question to you, what stresses do you have? And if you were going to say, right, I'm going to tackle my stresses, what guarantees would you need to have in place to work for you if you're going to engage with me, for example, on that? Because I've got those guarantees in place. So I'm interested, if you're interested in actually tackling this with no risk to yourself or your finances, then come and contact me about joining the beta program that we are rolling out soon, that you can be a part of it at a reduced price and increased engagement from me and increased working with me. Let me be your last resort is that the beach island where we're taking a break. That's the resort. Often we feel like nothing's going to work. So what would it cost? If it cost nothing, if you weren't putting anything at risk, that would be worth a last chance saloon or a last resort, wouldn't it? Let me be your last resort. Did that make sense? Hope you're well. I hope this was interesting to you. And if it's getting your curiosity to take the next step to find out how you can finally beat your stress, control your stress so it's at a better level, so that acknowledging that it clouds your judgment, and if you want to get control of that so you can make those better decisions in your life, manage your stress better, manage your situations and outcomes better, then get in contact. Have an awesome rest of the day. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.